Good morning. This is my 11th chapter of my Spirit of Parenting book, and it's called I Don't Know What I Need. So sometimes a child will just continually demand something that isn't really what they want or need. And so it's our task as their parents to help them decipher these requests. So if your little one keeps demanding something new every few minutes, it's probably because they haven't figured out what they really want or need. So for the very young, it may be sleep, or it could be food, or it could be cuddling because they need to be against your skin. They need to be able to feel your heartbeat. And for a toddler who's probably overamped and just can't get back to stillness, it may just be kind of like quiet time with just you. And for older kids, now that's a little bit more complicated, it's often about self-image. So don't feel like you have to say yes to every single whiny demand. It's fine to say, no, I don't think that cooking another meal will be what really makes you happy. Instead, let's choose your favorite food from what I've already cooked, and we'll sit down together and talk about your day. Or for a teenager, try to say something like, I know you really want those $150 sneakers. They do look so cool, don't they? I would love to be so rich because it would be great fun to see you wearing those shoes. One of the very hardest things about being your parent is not being able to give you everything you want. Thanks so much for being the kind of kid that I want to pamper. If you're constantly needing to approve your love to your child, then something is wrong with the transmission of that love. It's great and it's necessary no matter what the experts say. It's great to give lots of verbal praise and physical attention. But examine your attitude. Because if your child needs continual reassurance, then more is not necessarily better. Real love, real attention is better. And once they have access to your undivided love, they will understand instinctively that they're going to be fine whether or not you buy those expensive shoes or those 10,000 toys. So do whatever it takes, and I'm asking a huge thing here for you and for them. Do whatever it takes to truly fall in love with your child. And that could be like getting help and support for your own inner child. That's usually it. Or just rearranging your life and your relationships so that you have time to think a thought and feel a feeling. Whatever it takes so that you can be truly present for your child. Try to make it happen. And I know what I'm asking even now, especially now during the pandemic. And perhaps it could be that you've forgotten what you want. So how could your children possibly know what they want? So during this pandemic, you might be so overwhelmed, so overworked trying to be parent and teacher and mate and friend and lover of yourself. You might be so overwhelmed that you can't even remember or figure out what might help you. And you probably can't get enough free time to even hear your own voice. There is so much busyness right now, so much worry, so much a lack of reassurance that any of us know what's going to happen. I personally actually feel like we are birthing something new and wonderful. But that doesn't keep you from picking up your own and all of the concern and anger and upset and panic that's in the world, in the collective. So if you're so busy, so overwhelmed that it keeps you from your truth, your tendency will be to just go on consuming. So take food, for example, because do you know how many people are gaining weight, even in this time of so-called lack? Do you know how many people are gaining weight during the pandemic? And that's probably because the food that normally meets your needs probably no longer satisfies you. And like your child wanting more and more toys or clothing or electronics, you'll just want more and more until you don't feel the fear anymore. And so food is how you distract yourself from that dissatisfaction. So you may eat more food, or if that doesn't work, you might eat a different food, and then you're still hungry. And perhaps nothing works. Nothing is quite the answer right now. Not the answer you were looking for, because food won't fill this kind of hunger. Do you get it? No matter how many toys you buy, how many clothes you buy, how many games you play, you're still going to be hungry. Hungry for the new. Hungry for what's possible. And so only recognizing and honoring what we really need right now, or what we really needed when we were a child, will nourish us deeply. And luckily, the great news is that part of the divinity of kids is that they force us into healing our own old wounds. So do that, and the love for ourselves and for our children flows from our grateful, silly, playful, overflowing heart. Is your heart overflowing? No matter what intensity is going on in the world, or no matter how much you don't know how to keep your children safe, or yourself safe. No matter what's going on in your life, turn it to love. For example, if you're saying, I don't know how to keep my child safe, then you say, wow, isn't it amazing how much I want to keep my child safe? How much I love this child, this life. No matter what's going on in the world or in your life, filling your hunger, knowing what you want, almost always involves taking time to return to your center. So stop. Ask yourself the question, is this what my heart really wants or needs in order to be happy? And then teach your child to ask some version of that question. And then both you and your child will know what you need. Aloha, sweethearts. I send you the greatest love.